radio there, and I'll thoroughly enjoy the pizza. Thank you very much for listening in, ladies and gentlemen. Greatly appreciate it. Not long now before you hear that infamous SMS Power Radio jingle, the one we all like. Thank you very much.
You are listening to SMS Power Radio.
G'day folks, welcome to SMS Power Radio for another week. Oh boy, I'm forgetting the jingle. I didn't even realise that it had not quite finished. Sorry about that. To cut it off, it's a great jingle, and I quite enjoy the jingle. Just to mention again, this show is certainly not THX certified, and I wish we were THX certified, but it's not something that we can do. You have to go through these strict routines and everything, and it's just simply too hard to do that sort of stuff. So, pity we're not THX certified. Currently we have 5 listeners live. I'm just refreshing the page, and we now have 6 listeners live. This is the biggest listener base we've had, so thank you very much for listening in. And last week's show was a little bit of a shambles. The community had a few mixed thoughts about it. But I'm sure this week is going to be a really, really cool show. We have tons of music here for you today. So we're going to start out with a couple of tunes from The Flash. We're going to be hearing from Jerome Tell himself, one of the coolest guys, and I wish he did more SMS sound packs, but he didn't. He only did a few. So we're going to be hearing from The Flash. We're going to be hearing the Trickster's Funhouse and the Rollercoaster Runner. You're listening to SMS Power Radio. I'm your host, DJ Jacko. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We heard from The Flash there. We heard Trickster's Funhouse and Rollercoaster Runner there. Two really groovy tunes, both by Jerome Tell, and he's one great musician. He did a lot of work on the Commodore 64, but he didn't do a lot of work on the Master System, which is a real shame because he's a cool musician. So now we're going to be crossing to some Cosmic Spacehead. Ooh, now this soundtrack is rather funky. It's really unique in its own right. It uses a lot of arpeggiation and quite rapid arpeggiation as parts of the beat. Generally, a lot of the time they make use of the off beats or the medium and the weak beats of the bar. So strong, weak, medium, weak, strong, weak, medium, weak in 4/4 time. And it's quite effective, so it works out really well. So we're going to be hearing Cosmic Spacehead, the Cape Carnival, and the title screen theme. You're listening to SMS Power Radio. Coming up after this, I'm going to be telling you some of the latest news and happenings on SMS Power. Thank you. You're listening to SMS Power Radio, DJ Jacko here at the helm. They were two songs from Cosmic Spacehead, and I'm sure they're one of those bloody Codemasters carts that are really annoying to emulate, but who cares? The music's cool. Matt Simmons, Alistair Brimble, and Lyndon Sharp actually worked on that soundtrack as a trio. Other than that, I don't know much more than it, but I'd like to find out a little bit more about it because it's so groovy. Latest news and happenings in SMS Power. There's quite a lot going on around the community at the moment. Ben Rives is working on some VDP testing. He's developing a emulator under the name of Cogwheel, which is quite cool. I've had a test of it myself, and it runs rather smoothly, and it just needs some sound, really. So if you can help him out on that, that'd be greatly appreciated. It is open source. If you pop along to his website, I'm sure he'll have more details there. His website is www.benrives.co.uk, I believe. I'll just check that for you, ladies and gentlemen. I can ask Ben himself. I am currently talking to him on... no, I think it's... hang on, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. Nope, it's just benreeves.com, I believe. Yes, it certainly is. So just go along to www.benreeves.com and you'll see that Cogwheel is on Google Code, posted on Sunday, 24th of February 2008.com. Thank you, Ben. Thank you for that information. So I just popped along to the forums. There's been a few posts lately, some stuff about Game Gear TVs, definitely some Bok Bok Revolution music. This is a big one. Maxim posted about this roundabout back in 2005, or 2006, sorry, and it was only like last night / yesterday he posted the file that he was meant to post all the way back in 2006. So a little 2-year delay, but through the use of his black magic orb, by the magic of orb, not being home when you need to be, the files are there. So, yeah, that's really cool. And what else have we got on the forums? We have a number of development news there. The SMS VDB tester and Bok's famous dumping logs. It seems to me that the dumps are getting smaller, and we'd like to know whether Bok there are floaters or sinkers. When you just drop those logs into the swimming pool. No joke. And yeah, trading. Brian Aldo's back with some more Game Gears, so go and check that out. And of course, our in the news forum, the Nick Heliophobe Warren topic. Thanks for sending in the constant condolences, everybody. I'm sure that Nick's doing well wherever he is, which is cool. In the website news, Ben Rives posted about some attempted spam. We sorted that out, and some Mecha install optimizations down in the Mecha forum. So that's the latest news and happenings through SMS Power, and let's now keep on going on with the music, because the music is what we're here for. We're going to be jumping down to Batman Returns now. We're going to be hearing the Stage 1 and Stage 2 themes respectively, by Motohiro Kawashima. You're listening to SMS Power. I'm DJ Jacko. Thank you. yes, I should mention now, I didn't mention the URL for SMS Power. That is www.smspower.org. You can also have a look at the radio website. We release podcasts generally 1 to 2 days after each show. That's down at radio.smspower.org, or if you want the really elongated URL, here it is, www.smspower1.channelwood.org/SMS-power-radio. That is a really long and annoyingly remember URL. So, please... Whoa, sorry ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to press the stop button. That's the next song. We don't want to hear that quite yet. Jumping the gun a little bit there. Whoa, easy, Winamp. Don't scare me. So, yeah, that's the radio website, radio.smspower.org, or the elongated URL, www.smspower1.channelwood.org/SMS-power-radio, and then you can go to the shows directly. So have that original URL, then go /shows, and you'll, of course, get the shows direct to you where you can go and download the shows directly. But I recommend looking at the page because it's a little bit more easier laid out and a little bit more user-friendly. In fact, it's really user-friendly. And thank you to Steve Book for designing that website. We both maintain it. And you get to see a little picture of my studio. So go and have a look at that. And I'll give you all the details with how I transmit. Here at SMS Power Radio, we believe in using free materials. So we use Winamp and Oddcast, and we transmit to free Shoutcast servers. Although a little patchy at times, they do seem to work when we need them. So I guess that's all that counts. Some other news, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going back to university next week for 24 weeks of strenuous hard work. And I've had a few things come up this year, and I'm afraid sacrifices are going to have to be made. So, this means changes for SMS Power Radio. The first thing is the show transmission day is changing, obviously. Now, at this point in time, Fridays are looking to be quite a good day. I've got university until 12. Now, that still could leave me tight in the afternoon to do shows. So, Mondays aren't looking too bad. We may be able to transmit early on a Monday morning, or we can transmit Fridays, but any other day during the week is out of the question. Now also the frequency of shows, how often we do the shows, is going to have to drop. I simply am not going to be able to keep up weekly shows with my university schedule. It's just simply far too hectic. So, what I would like everyone to do is, if you could please post your feelings either in the SMS Power Radio thread in the main forum on SMS Power, or send me and Steve an email to ismspodcast@gmail.com expressing your thoughts and opinions. Or perhaps, no, we'll leave it at that, and we'll base the show around on listener feedback. We'll try and get Steve doing a few more shows for you too, ladies and gentlemen. Perhaps Steve might have some ideas or something like that. I'll liaise with him, and we'll let you guys know. So keep an eye on the websites, and some news will be posted as to what's happening to the future of SMS Power Radio. I don't want to stop the project because it's taken this much time already, and I feel it's got off the ground rather well. So thank you very much for your support, ladies and gentlemen. I want to try and keep the show going, but sacrifices are having to be made this year, so that's not too much I can do about it. So on that shiny note, let's keep going on to some music. We just heard previously from Batman, and now we're going to be hearing Shadow Dancer and Psychic World. We're going to be hearing the Along the Railroad theme from Shadow Dancer and Icefield theme from Psychic World. I'm DJ Jacko. You're listening to SMS Power Radio. You're listening to SMS Power Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to SMS Power Radio. And there we had some cool songs. We heard from the KT Along the Railroad, and then from Ippo, Icefield. I'll tell you the games. Where are the games? Yes, Shadow Dancer and Psychic World. We're now going to be hearing from 3 songs now, I believe. No, this is still a block of 2 songs. We're going to now be hearing from Master of Darkness. We're going to be hearing the Epitaph theme and the boss theme. Dun, 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 dun. SMS Power Radio. Thank you for listening to SMS Power, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Book's talking to me about the prosperous sort of... Oh, that's M&X. Oh, hang on. What's he saying? He knows a guy who knows a girl who knows a man who knows another man who has an uncle whose son-in-law knows a guy who is dating someone who has a server. Now, that is the biggest friendship tree I have seen in my life. Woohoo! That is huge. Very huge indeed. We have to laugh at that one. Woo! Man, I sound like that Steve Irwin guy. Jeez, boys, get a look at this croc. Woo! Get us a top gyro right away. Let's wrangle this croc in. Woo! Alright, yes. That was some really cool tunes right there. That game was Master of Darkness. So we're going to be playing more of that for you guys. Okay, now I believe... No, we still don't have a set of 3 songs. Maybe it's the next set. Yes, the set after this set is 3 songs. So now we're going to be hearing from Ninja Gaiden. We're going to be hearing the intro theme and then Escape in a Forest. So you're listening to SMS Power Radio. I'm DJ Jacko, and enjoy these 2 songs. Everyone, later on, prepare to do the robot dance. We have some robot music coming up. Yee-hoo! Hang on, I gotta do that. Hang on. Yee-hoo! Yeah, that sounds cool, doesn't it? All right. So we now have that block of infamous 3D songs. Yes, indeed. We are the robots. Danger, danger, danger. Earthquake, earthquake. SMS power radio. Yep. Yes, we are the robots. So now we're going to be hearing that final block of... Well, not the final block. I think we have a couple... Yeah, we still have quite a few more songs after that. So this is now a block of 3 songs. So we're going to be hearing from Ghouls and Ghosts, The Execution Palace. Ah! And then we're going to be hearing from Sagaia, War O, but it's actually called Battle of Mars. And then we're going to be hearing from E-SWAT Level 2. I am DJ Jacko. You're listening to SMS Power Radio. Oompa loompa oopity doom, SMS Power Radio. You're listening to SMS Power Radio, DJ Jacko behind the ranks here. And we must also welcome along DJ Andic to the IRC channel for SMS Power Radio. And his website is djandic.channelwood.org. Just a slight plug in there. He's got a gig this weekend on somewhere in Belgium, I believe. So it's getting recorded. So make sure he's released some awesome home mixes. They're just so cool. He's an awesome DJ. So DJ Andic there for you. We played him at the beginning of the show as our pre-show entertainment. So we now have two more VGM-related songs today. These are FM soundtracks, by the way. We're hearing from Zillion II. We're hearing Pure Stone and Push. You're listening to SMS Power Radio. DJ Jacko, you're listening to SMS Power Radio. We have two more songs here for you. We have one Marvel Zone thing that was posted on SMS Power Radio many years ago, and Maxim asked me to play it for him. So I am playing that for you now, Maxim. And after that, we're going to be hearing a new song I'm working on. Some of you have heard it. It's the Water Theme remix of mine. Now, it's kind of India meets, I don't know, hip-hop. So maybe I'll call it the Raji mix or something like that. Who knows? You're listening to SMS Power Radio. I'm DJ Jacko. We have a couple more songs here, and then we have a request for Steve Book. Thank you for listening in. We now have a couple off the record requests. Steve Book requested an interesting one. This is Kraftwerk. Now remember when I told you to dance like robots? This is when you got to dance like robots, boys. This is Kraftwerk. These guys are an amazing band, electronic all the way. So this is Kraftwerk, the robots here on SMS Power Radio. And before we get on with those songs, you heard the Marvel Zone theme from some random post on SMS Power that Maxim linked, so thank you very much for that. And you heard my latest water theme mix from Alex Kidd in Miracle World. I'm DJ Jacko, thank you for listening in today, and let's take you out with a couple of songs. Kraftwerk, The Robots, and White Rabbit, Jefferson Airplane. Thank you very much for listening into SMS Power Radio today. I'm DJ Jacko, and the server dropped out. Yes, I know, it's quite weird. It's just not really working too well. I'm not going to use the UK server again. So thank you very much for listening in today, and hopefully you enjoyed the show. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.